Time on the range stands still. A lone buckaroo rides through a sagebrush sea, not seeing that he is surrounded by this modern technology, for time on the range stands still. There's no laptop in his office nor Android. Anything wireless he tends to avoid. He abides by tradition with an iron will. It's the men and the work they do, and the will to uphold the traditions of the buckaroo that helps time stand still on the range. There's a struggle between technology and the way the world around him wants to be, and the time-honored traditions of his game. As the world around him changes, time stands still on the ranges. The traditions of the vaquero survives. The work goes on the same. On each side of the range, the traditions are no longer threatened to die. Amongst the sagebrush, he holds the roe deer, roping and cutting the steers. He rides in the shade of the rubies. The sun is warm on his back. Never for entertainment does he lack, but only for the shade of a tree. A young buckaroo mounts and rides on a slick fork-weighted tree in a hide on the lonesome high desert of Wahi Range. The times to him are unknown. The Great Basin ever is his home, and tending wild cattle is his game. There's a seasoned man who rides for the TS. He's about as old-fashioned as they get. He's riding straight up in the bridle. He's proud to ride for the brand. He's set in his ways like every good hand, and you'll never find that buckaroo sitting idle. Now Louis is a veteran of the great IL. He'd have rode for Bill through hell. A sour, rangy bronc could try to buck, but you know Louis, he always stuck. He could ride the Cavvy's strongest, wildest horses. And Justin rode the vast YP range in a land of tall sagebrush and no rain. It's a hard-riding buckaroo outfit. In a time that has no date, like a round pin that has no gate, a land so dry a man cannot produce spit. Stanley Ellison's crew rides for the span, where many a young boy comes out a man. Where the cowboys take coffee at the wagon each morn, where the Cavvies rankin' raw, rip snortin' and stompin' their paws. 'Twas here buckaroo legends were born. And there's a Californio in the high Sierras, a living shadow of a former era, his traditions once treated as a sacred right. A master, a monsador, an artist with the rawhide hackamore, and a spade bit with hands ever so light. There's a vaquero still riding the steens. He's riding for his bunk and his beans. He uses a 60-foot four-plat Rieta. He knows he could make more pay if he's driving a truck and hauling hay, but he guesses this life is better. So now you can study the traditions of the buckaroo on the web and keep up with technological flow and ebb, but time on the range stands still. Now there's Wi-Fi and iPads and Twitter tweets and yuppies all friending their peeps, but time on the range stands still. Time is the same now as before, we just don't take time to keep score. These times are not over or nearly through. We still swing our rawhide ropes and we brand stout calves and ride colts. It's the day of the modern buckaroo. Through time the buckaroo has remained, whether forgotten or living in fame. We were there when others didn't notice. We've rode the Great Basin ranges. Though the world around us made changes, we'd have noticed if someone had just told us. Perhaps this technology has helped these traditions survive, and has helped the buckaroo spirit stay alive. But also it has allowed us to remain in the past. I just wonder what the old-timers would say if they could see us all here today. Would they embrace technology just as fast?